Well, hello, everyone. It's Ashley with CourtReserve. We are so excited for our webinar today. One of the things that I've learned as a business owner is that it's hard to hold inventory. And so today I'm with my friend Dirk from M4 Sports. How are you, my friend?
I am great, Ashley. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, definitely. So before we get started with all the fun information, don't forget that CourtReserve, we love training our admins. And so we're going to be in Seattle actually next Wednesday. It may be too late, but if you really want to go, you can contact us and maybe I can get you a seat. But definitely the last Catalyst user conference for the year is coming up at the end of this month. It's going to be in Skillman, New Jersey. That's literally between Newark and Philly. So you can catch a flight to Philly, hour, 20 minutes. You're at the Cherry Valley Country Club. You can go to courtreserve.com and sign up for Catalyst or reach out to our support team. And then our team will also be up in New England in a couple weeks. And I'll be down in Austin, Texas for the Racket X City Series as well. And don't forget, if you are pickleball happy, all about pickleball, we always encourage you to go to Mastermind. This could be the last one for this year out in Salt Lake City. So you can reach out to the folks at Club Pickleball Mastermind, or you can actually get on a call with Devin and he'll tell you all about that. So let's go ahead and get started because I'm really excited because when Tim and I decided that we weren't busy enough and we opened up our own pickleball club, people started wanting merch. They wanted shirts and all kinds of stuff. And the last thing I had time to do was figure out what they needed and then buy inventory. So we did that for the first couple months, Dirk. And you can imagine, like, I ran out of the right sizes and then I didn't have the right colors and the material was okay. And so when I met Alfredo and you back earlier this year and we started our online customizable store for Old Coast Pickleball, it was kind of life changing for me as a business owner.
That's great to hear. That's what we're here to do. So thank you very much. Do you want me to jump into it?
I do. Let's get started for
All
sure.
right.
Tell us a little bit about you. Like, how did you get into this business?
Well, that was a stumble about 25 years ago, but it was a fortunate one. So I've been working for a company called MB Sport, which is a product design development and sourcing business. We work with retailers across the United States and really take that entire lift off their shoulders. So when you think about what we're talking about here with these online pro shops, it's a similar model. We're taking all of the inventory, all of the branding, all of the management kind of off club's shoulders, and it's been a product that's been well received. So we are into our third full season as M4. M4 Sports is the brand. We are working across racket sports. We're working in tennis and pickle and padel and paddle, and we do differentiate them that way, and squash as well. So we found that the online offering is something that has been well received, and I'd love to spend a little bit of time and walk you folks through a quick overview about how we configure these shops and how we work.
Yes, that would be great. And I'll tell you at the end, once he's done kind of going through the process, I'm going to show you how we hooked up Old Coast Pickleball inside of CourtReserve. So our folks can go into Old Coast Pickleball. They can see what we have to offer. They can try on a demo and then they can order it, or they can order directly through CourtReserve as well. So Dirk, if you want to go ahead, I know you got some stuff that you want to share with
I've got
us.
if I can share my screen,
Yeah.
um, let's do that, and then let me get over to the presentation.
Oh, he's running on a Mac, folks.
No, yes,
No?
no. I'm all
Look at
PC.
you. Okay, me
I'm
too.
all I'm I'm all I'm still I guess I'm old. I'm still very
Me
much
too.
embracing the Windows. So the way that this product works is that we come in, we configure a custom shop for clubs, for organizations. We ran about 25 or 30 of them last year. And the thing to point out here is that the products that we're selling is all M4. It's our It's our activewear. It's some basic accessories, water bottles, hats, things like that. Um, and we work with you to, because it is an iterative process. We work with you to identify what products should go into the shop, talk through the branding, and get the shop to a point that you approve it to go live. Um, and there are some other companies out there that run this model. We've found that rather than having a deadline on the shop of a week or 2 or 3 weeks, we've actually found it's been well received to have the shops open for an entire season. So we'll open the shop, we'll keep it open for 6 months. As we come towards the end of that period, we'll check in with you and identify like, hey, this is working, like we want to continue this or we want to change this for another sport for another season, and we'll work through that together with you. We also along the way provide digital marketing materials, so we'll provide clips that you can send out via Instagram or via email, and so that you don't have to take the extra effort to be marketing it to your members. And then lastly, of course, is we appreciate the access. We appreciate you sharing our company and our products with your members. So we pay a commission of 20% of our net sales, and we pay that out every 3 months. Okay. Um, Speaking to the products, I want to one point I want to stress here is that again we are a product development and sourcing company. So the M4 products that we're selling are not traditional blanks. They're not coming from a blank style or a full source or somewhere like that. These are all products that we have designed from scratch, that we have selected the fabrics for, and we have manufactured them expressly for M4. We're very proud of the quality of our fabrics, of our styling, and of the workmanship. We also, another advantage of working this tightly is that the products are all designed for the same fit. So it's not that a large A and large B will fit you in different ways. It's that the fit is consistent across the entire line. We generally, I would say, our fit, and we have sizing guides and everything online that we can share. Our fit is active. It's not. I wouldn't say it's as small as maybe a Nike is, but it's also certainly not as large as a Johnny O or a Peter Millar. So it's a good middle of the road active fit. Um, all of our apparel is manufactured in Mauritius, which is a very pretty country in the South Indian Ocean. We've been working there for 15 years and have our own office and employees there. So we have our own people in the factories. We are very confident about the social compliance, and the people that we're working with there. Aside from it taking 23 hours on airplanes to get there, it's a pretty special place. And then we have an office and a warehouse in Connecticut, about an hour north of New York City, which is where everything is inventoried. So all the products that we're showing you, that we're making available to sell online, are in our inventory now. So it's not like we're not going to try and sell something and then go source it from somewhere else. We have the products on hand, and we do all the branding from our workshop as well. Um, One thing that happens over the course of the season is we bring in new products. Sometimes things can be delayed. Sometimes we institute new styles. But as we bring in new products, we will from time to time reach out and say, here are half a dozen new things. Let us know if you want to talk about adding these to your stores. Once we have the stores up, it is very easy to move things in and out, and it's even relatively straightforward to make changes on the fly in terms of branding. Our goal, because we are pulling these things from inventory, the goal is that products are delivered to the customer within 2 weeks. Um, we do pretty well with that goal. If there ever is an issue, or if we ever do run into, inventory on a size, we will reach out very quickly and work through to resolve that with the end consumer. Okay. So now we get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty. Um, from a pricing standpoint, I wanted to just give a range, so people could understand kind of where we are coming in. We set our pricing as our normal M4 retail pricing, and then we add $3 for the branding. So tees are in the 50s to 60s, polos are in the 60s. We have shorts, skirts, joggers that run a wider range. Those are from the 60s to the 90s. Hoodies, quarter zips, are in the 70s to 90s. And then we have a variety of jackets and vests, that are between $80 and $130. And again, we'll go through the selection process and help you fine tune the line that will make the most sense for your members. One thing that we call out at this point is that M4 obviously has its own retail presence, and we don't carry, because of the commission structure we're working on with you folks. We don't carry our M4 retail discounts over to the custom shops. However, discounts are a good idea. And one thing that we've seen happen is clubs have opted to say, yes, we do want to extend a discount to our members. Maybe it's a preseason discount, maybe it's a holiday discount. We do want to extend that discount. We can support that, and we'll support that, but we would need to take the value or the net cost of that discount out of whatever commissions were payable at the end of the process. And that's something that Alfredo or I can walk through with you folks. We ship for free over $125. And another thing that we've had success with has been, if a club wants to say, get all your orders in now and have it shipped to the club, we'll take any batch of 4 or more orders and just batch ship them to the club at our cost. Um, Obviously, that takes some coordination, but we can work through that. We also have a fairly robust business supporting events, member guests, and the like, and internal tournaments and the like. And should you want to talk with us about gear for that, we'd welcome the conversation. And our traditional model is that we sell that product to you at 30% of the retail, or 30% off the retail price. And we do ask, though, that it's a minimum of 20 units, and it does need to be the same style, the same branding across there. All right. Okay, so the process to set up a shop. We ask that if you are, and we'll share the contact information, and I'm sure Ashley will as well. We ask you, if you have an interest in setting up a shop, to please reach out to us. When you do, we want to just keep track of who's in the mix, and also keep track of demand and the number of shops that we have that we're opening. So we will send you a link with a sample shop. And then, more importantly, we will send you a second link for a selection shop, and we'll send you the link and a code. And what you will do as your first step is to go into the selection shop. You'll pick the items that you'd like to put into your assortment, and you'll go through a checkout process on that shop as you would on any e-commerce site. The code will make the sale at zero cost, but that way gives you the chance to pick what you want and then articulate it to us very, very clearly, so that we can then look at that, review it, and start our planning for the development of your shop. Of course, the branding is an important component of this. So while we are going through this selection process, we ask that you send us your logo, so that we can start to understand what's involved in working with it, and start to think about coloration and things like that. Once we have all that information, we're going to put together an outline and of what we see with your shop. We may have feedback on you might want to consider this or you might want to consider that. Um, and we will come back to you and have a relatively quick conversation to walk through it. Just there will always be questions about kind of the size of the branding, the how heavy you want it, how heavy you want things to be. So we'll have an initial conversation. Then we will come back. We'll build the shop online. We'll send you a link for the shop and for you to review. We will often we find that we get it right the first time, but we're of course happy to have another round of review and update to get the shop to a place that you feel good about. Our goal that we generally are able to achieve is that we expect it to take 3 weeks from when you hit go on the selection order to when the shop goes live. Of course, if there's a little bit more back and forth, it might take a little bit longer, but we are generally up and live within 3 weeks of really initiating the process. Yeah, a few things on branding, because that's obviously central to what we're doing here. We do ask, and we'll work through these details with you. We generally are looking for two different colorways or two different patterns of a logo. We don't want to have 10 different logos on a site because that gets unwieldy to manage. But we're looking for two different colorways, one that will work well in light apparel, one that will work well in dark apparel. And again, we can work through that detail during the setup process. When you send your logos to us, and this is an area that does create some additional work, ideally, we would love to receive your artwork in a vector file. So AI, Adobe Illustrated, encapsulated PostScript or SVG. Those are the files that are most easily manipulated. If that's not available, and it's often not, we're happy to work with a high resolution PNG. When we start getting to smaller PNG files or smaller JPEGs, the quality of the branding starts to deteriorate. So one thing we use our designers for the main business, and we can help you clean up the logos so they will present well. And that's something that we would review as we were going through the process with you. We will review the size, where the branding is going to be placed on the product. There's some flexibility there. And again, there's a lot of individual preference that we'll try and accommodate. Within M4, we have five sports that we kind of consider our front five, which are tennis, pickle, squash, padel, paddle. And then we also have core, which is just a plain, I meant to wear it today, I didn't, have a core, which is just a plain M4 branding. So as we're going through the process, we will work with you to land on kind of which sport you want to, or which sport you want to be representing for your shop. We do all of the branding is done on apparel with a high quality heat transfer. We use embroidery for hats. We can discuss using embroidery, especially for higher end pieces like jackets. That there is an additional cost associated with that, but we can work through those details at setup. And then finally, we do have an ability through our office in Hong Kong to develop 3D silicone, really elevated 3D silicone logos. But that's something that there is additional lead time and additional cost. But if there's an interest, we could talk about that. Okay. Last slide. Couple of final closing points. We do recommend that we keep the assortment fairly tight to start. And that's not just for our benefit, but it's also for you and your customers' benefit. I think when these things get too broad, one, the branding becomes complicated. But two, it's also kind of gets overwhelming for people. So I think what we want to be doing and is choosing the best, choosing kind of a smaller group of the best items. And then, as I said before, we get into it. We want to change something. We can change something graphically online. We can bring in new products. So there is an ability to fine tune as the season progresses. We do reserve the right to kind of say, sorry, something is an inventory issue, or we might want to tighten this up a little bit, but we'll certainly be reasonable and accommodating with that. Our goal for this initiative for the fall is to do 50 shops. That doesn't mean that we're going to necessarily take shop 51 and say, sorry, we're not going to develop a shop for you. But we do want to have that governor in place just in case. Like, it would be great if there was a huge groundswell, and we will certainly do what we can to accommodate everybody. But we want to have a little bit of protection in case this runs away from us, because the most important thing on these shops is getting them right and executing. And we want to make sure that we're setting ourselves up to be successful for you. If you do have an interest in a shop, please reach out. Alfredo Barcelo works on my team and is on this call. And I would ask you to reach out to Alfredo. His contact information is here. I'm sure Ashley can share that as well. And we're excited to be presenting this to you, and we're very excited about this opportunity. So thank
Yeah.
you very much.
And I can say from your slides, that's how my process went. It was smooth. And I mean, you guys communicated very well. And so what I want to do is I want to actually share how we actually put this into Old Coast Pickleball on the CourtReserve platform. So this here, you can see this is CourtReserve. If you're a CourtReserve admin, this is my player side or my mobile side. And of course, this filters through to the mobile as well. So what I've done is I've actually put a row here, buy clothing or buy hats. And for you in CourtReserve, you'll know this is a hero row where you can add 2 buttons, but I've also put it at the top, buy OCP gear. And this directs directly over to my M4 store. So my players can come into Old Coast, they can click on buy clothing or buy hats. When they go to buy clothing, here's my online store. Okay. My members, my players can go through, they can see all of our great wares, shorts, skirts, hats. If they want more information, they can click on it, they can turn it around. So, I mean, this is good stuff. We have had some player sales at the store. They can pick and choose, and then it gets shipped directly to them. So again, if you have questions about this, about how to put this in CourtReserve, this is super easy. Most of you guys are kind of super admins already. But if you want to reach out to our support team later on this afternoon, I'm going to give them some instructions by which you can use to kind of set your own store up. But what you'll want to do first is you'll definitely want to reach out to Alfredo and get some information. And we'll have his email and everything ready. So if you guys forget today, didn't write it down, you come into support and we'll make sure and give you that information. It looks like we have a question. Let's check it out.
Shoot.
Let's see. In your model, do you offer exchanges, refunds, warranty for members? Logistically, how does that work, and who would pay for shipping?
Okay, so it's a great question. Um, our policy with refunds has been, we are doing this to build our brand and and we want the customers to come away from having a good experience. We have taken and done exchanges. It's a little challenging with custom product, but our policy at this time is that we process exchanges. We'll send it an airway bill to support it. That is something that we are attuned to. So we may modify that policy over time if we see it starting to run away from us. But for right now, we are processing exchanges, and we also have people who are working here in addition to Alfredo who can help give some guidance on kind of how things fit. because that seems to be the biggest issue. So
Size wise. Yeah.
that's a long answer to a short question, or a long and vague answer to a short question, but that's how we're handling it now.
That's a great question. I can tell you that, we have our online store, but I have also ordered through Alfredo probably 60 ball hats at this point with the embroidered OCP logo. They sell quick at the store. So I just went ahead and bulk ordered a lot of those. And then we did some orders for CourtReserve as well. And for CourtReserve, we don't want to say we're pickle or whatever. So we just had the core, the plain ones made, and the material is like, I don't want to give it too much, but like my husband Tim loves the Travis Matthews stuff, and it is probably better than that. I love it. It's so super soft, and it washes well, and I just wash it and hang it up. And I mean, I could go on and on, but like this is really good for us to have an online customizable component so that my players can get Old Coast Pickleball wear in the door quickly and in the size they want. So thank you, Dirk. This has been exciting. Oh, it looks like we got one more question before we go. Oh, two more questions. Oh, let's see. Sensitive to the feel of material. Do you have any samples to get an idea of materials?
Yes, we can. Again, we are a smallish company and we want to manage our costs. If you do want to see some samples, we can send them to you, but we would ask for them to come back.
Yeah,
Just to keep our
sure.
side operating as leanly as possible.
Or order a couple for yourself and write it off, and that way you kind of know and can give the feel, which is kind of what I did for sure. So this is a great question. Can you negotiate the percentage based off the size of the club and the number of clubs we have? We have 19 teams out of one of our clubs. Can the captains add team names to the shirts at the beginning of the season for uniforms?
Everything is subject to negotiation. No, we do provide a considerable amount of customization support. That's something we can discuss as doing a bulk order. That we would be very happy to have that conversation. Individual customizations are possible, but they're more involved, obviously. But we'd be very happy to have a discussion about that.
Yeah. And I can just say, if you guys want to try some gear on, just come on down to St. Augustine. You can come to Old Coast Pickleball, come see us. I'm going to put Alfredo's email in the chat. Actually, I'll put it here in the Q&A. Let me see. I'm going to type the answer and see if you guys can. I'm just going to put it here. It's Alfredo at m4sports.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's Alfredo like the sauce. So he's great.
You can throw Dirk at M4 Sports in there as well.
Dirk at M4. Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't want to throw Alfredo totally to the wolves.
Shannon says she's a Connecticut girl and she's happy to go to New Canaan to see Alfredo. That's awesome. I love that.
She's always welcome.
Oh, and I've got some people coming to Catalyst in Seattle. Kirsten, I will bring some M4 stuff so you can see it. That's a great idea. So that's awesome. And I'm coming to New Jersey too, so I can bring some M4 stuff to New Jersey as well. So let's see. Kirsten has another question. How does in-store inventory work? Do we buy, say, margin share?
If you're going to, if you want to buy, we also work wholesale. So we would want to get a sense of what you're looking to order. We would sell, if you're going to sell in store, we would prefer to sell to you wholesale, right? Because the ability to fulfill through in store would be challenging. But we do work, and it depends on how clubs are configured. We do work with a number of clubs who prefer to just buy and manage their own inventory, and we'll support that gladly.
Yeah, and then you can use the CourtReserve point of sale and keep up with everything. That's a great idea. That's what we do at Old Coast. So, well, this has been great. You guys know we will put this up on the CourtReserve YouTube channel sometime today. And then if you need more information, please come into live chat support. As soon as I click this off, I'm going to make sure that they have all the information, Dirk and Alfredo's email, so that you guys can reach out. Thank you so much, my friend, for joining us. We're so excited to offer our clubs an online component. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Couldn't be happier to be here.
All right, friends. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.